The power of the cosmic void is one that stands at the pinnacle of sorcery, and very few have attained its knowledge, and even fewer are able to grasp and manifest its true power. Two such beings were powerful sorcerers who harnessed the power of comets and meteors, the primeval sorcerers Azur and Lusat. Long before Raya Lucaria had come to be the prestigious school it is now, its founders had studied the stars as astrologers in order to understand the vastness of the cosmos and the power that lies therein. Azur studied the power of comets as it traveled through the cosmos, lighting the darkness of the void in its wake. From a distance, the light of the comet would hide the darkness within, but he caught a glimpse of the void, and in it he saw darkness, the never-ending abyss of the cosmos. This gave him the understanding to harness the power of the comet's light, but also made him fearful of the abyss. Regardless of this fear though, he was able to harness the power of the primeval current that lies within the abyss, and alongside his fellow primeval sorcerer, the founding stars would fall from the cosmos, and the power of glintstone would be born. Azur would become one of the founding glintstone sorcerers, and he would teach his knowledge to those who would listen. This would be the birth of the first and oldest conspectus, the Carolus Conspectus. With the founding of this conspectus, the development of glintstone sorcery would expand, and those talented would rise and create even more conspectuses and more fields of study for glintstone. Lusat would also create his own conspectus, the Olivinus Conspectus, which pursued the power of meteorites. Thus the now Grandmaster Azur, alongside his fellow Grandmaster Lusat, would be able to focus again on the cosmos, and even beyond the study of comets. They would study the very essence of glintstone, the primeval current. This would prove a dangerous course of study, for the study required sacrifice. Mages who underwent the study would eventually hit upon a wall, and the Grandmasters would require bodies. Students would be turned into horrible monstrosities, stuck together through a torturous ritual meant to be a depiction of the seed of the stars. Yet in truth, it was nothing but a horrible visage of the unknown, a failed experiment by the Grandmasters themselves. This doesn't mean that they would not find success, however. Both the Grandmasters would eventually be transformed in the visage of the stars. Their very body would be forever changed to a stony figure. Their brain and skull would be transformed into crowns made of glintstone. Glintstone would erupt from their body, corroding the robes they wore, and they would reach a near inorganic state. Something beyond humanity, maybe even blasphemy. It would look torturous at first, your skull and your body turning into glintstone, but such a state would allow one to delve even deeper into the primeval current and gain even more power from beyond the cosmos. Azur would demonstrate increased potency in his spells, and even be able to conjure his spells faster than normal. His body would be nigh indestructible, and his ascendancy through glintstone would be very apparent, for he and his fellow Grandmaster would be arguably one of the most powerful sorcerers in the lands between. But the price for that power would be one the school and its students were unwilling to pay. They would ban the study of the primeval current, and alongside it would banish the two founding Grandmasters, and any students of the primeval current that they may have. This banishment wouldn't deter them from their studies, however, and the two Grandmasters would continue their research elsewhere. Azur would squat within a hermit village close to Mount Gelmir. It is unsure what he may have done here, and the remains within the village tell many different stories. Residents that live here are the same as those within the Windmill Village. We even find robes of the Hierodus Conspectus as well as their crown, indicating that students may have come here to learn from the former Grandmaster. What is known though is that he would remain here until the village would be destroyed by mages and demi-humans. and until the arrival of the Tarnished who would be Lord. The said Tarnished would meet with Azur, but it is unclear if Azur and Lusat were still themselves. They clung to life, but only barely. Azur would pass the knowledge of primeval sorcery onto the Tarnished, which he would then use to learn more from Selen and assist her in restoring the primeval current within Raya Lucaria. Before such a plan though, the Tarnished would also learn the fate of Grandmaster Lusat, who had gone to Celia, the town of Sorcery, probably hoping to continue his research. There was even a prophecy that the stars would one day fall on Celia, perhaps an event that the Grandmaster would have a hand in, if the stars had not been challenged by the great general Radon. But instead the Grandmaster was captured and trapped by the Haima Conspectus, imprisoned until the Tarnished finally set him free. With both Grandmasters free, the Tarnished would be given a choice to enact Selen's plan to return primeval sorcery to Raya Lucaria, or to help Jaren stop the plan by slaying Selen. Should Selen's plan come to fruition, her hubris would turn her into a graven mass, perhaps an act even done by the now missing Grandmasters. Could the primeval current have been a power to rival even that of the Elden Ring, if it was fully understood? Or was it an endless abyss of unfathomable knowledge? A question now that will forever go unanswered.